close into my dream.
Everybody, let's get it back started. DJ Allad, thank you for getting us really crunk and calming us down. Show some love to DJ Allad one more time.
This poem is to remind people that don't want to be reminded. This poem is to remind people that don't want to be reminded. This poem is to remind people that don't want to be reminded. I usually do a quick little get it out, get all the jitters out, so it goes like this. Playing the wickedest game of hangman with modernized Sumerians that are taught to slay men, and men they slaying and stay in your amen, so never stop aiming for the light. Once again. Playing the wickedest game of hangman with modernized Sumerians that are taught to slay men, and men they're slaying to stay in your amen, so never stop aiming for the light. And if you never stop aiming for the light, then let John shine bright. Here we go. If I were president, I'd get elected on Friday, assassinated on Saturday, buried on Sunday, then go back to teach on Monday. If I were president, if I were president, if I were president, so if I was president, this would be my presidential dissertation. And it goes like this. This poem is not for slanderers of the name, slandering the game of what is of the ancestors. This poem is not for sedated settlements of broken overstanding, standing broken of landings and syllables referred. This poem is not for referred preferences, selected elegance, or intertwined souls sent to collect for worldly earnings. This poem is not for earnings of debtors that used to force this to do what they had to feed whomever. This poem is not for whoever tried to find the vision between the brain and the pen, the needle and the white noise, the scratch and the finger who got the party started. This vision is between diversity and the brokenhearted. This poem is not for the absent-minded individual for whom forgot his part in life's play, so he wings the whole thing. This poem is not for Judas the betrayer who knew truth but stood in the shadow of sacrifice evil. This poem is not for the right to bear arms, so we purchase them and kill each other just because we're confused of our freedoms. This poem is not for misguided pushes of Reaganomics, Bushonomics, Lincolnomics, Rooseveltonomics, Cartonomics, Globonomics, Sexonomics, Confucianomics, Obamatomics, Tectonics, Platonics, Onyx, Vonics, or anything that sounds or disguised as being ironic. This poem is not for a dream deferred as reality in the eyes of the spiritual blind. This poem is not for the blinded spiritual being that subscribes to self and takes only a percentage of truth to life. This poem is not for the life contained to a secular system restrained and embedded in the brains of our youth. This poem is not for the youth who confuse truth with what they see in media. This poem is not for media who socialize or subsequently subdue or particularly persuade all to believe that we went to war for weapons of mass destruction. This poem is not for the destructive, reluctant, abductive person giving a fuck if you do or you don't. This poem is not for the dudes who don't or do it out of spite. This poem is not for the spite-driven pencil who rejects what's necessary just because the leader is of a different ethnic race. This poem is not for the races of ethnic differences and control of an area deaded on one who looks distinguished. This poem is not for the distinguished look of jealousy, thought because they might just like looking. This poem is not for the looking. This poem is not for the falsifiers of the clock, dock, or even stock market cocks. This poem is not for teachers whose method of the lesson is to drive rote memorization. This poem is not for memorization of the Constitution, the Pledge of Allegiance, the oath of office, fraternal, sororital, or illuminatical organizations. This poem is not for organizers of treason who who disguise it as a reason to survive. This poem is not for survival antics that totally seem gigantic and embodied in the spirit of frantic ritual. This poem is not for glorified ritual of paganistic holidays like Santa Claus and Christmas, Easter and the Easter Bunny, four-leaf clovers and St. Patrick, love and Valentine's Day, ghosts and Halloween, pilgrims and Thanksgiving, and or confuse the historical vision of truth's decision. This poem is not for prejudices, sedulouses, credulouses, evangelists who spread the message of God through false paying for tithes. This poem is not for tithes and offerings that pay for programs and marketing in mega establishments. This poem is not for establishments of malice that vow and use valid, capitalist technique. This poem is not for those of you who fear change. This poem is for you to hide in the face of fear. This poem is not for those of you scheming on ways to improve. What you should do is just improve yourself. This poem is not for specifics. This poem yet is for those of you who are tired of indoctrinated foolishness. I'll say it again. This poem is for all of you who are tired of indoctrinated foolishness taught in history books when we should only just be writing our own history. This poem is entitled The Research, the Thesis, and the Dissertation of a President. If I were president, I'd get elected on Friday, assassinated on Saturday, buried on Sunday, and I would educate the kids on Monday. Peace.